Good evening. I would like to thank Equality Illinois for choosing me as the recipient of this year's Freedom Award. I'm humbled to join the ranks of other inspiring individuals who have received this award and have championed my work. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, former Majority Leader Greg Harris, Mona Noriega, Kim Hunt, and a host of other community leaders whose shoulders I stand on. I'd like to extend my congratulations to Equality Texas, the recipient of this year's Illinois Organizing Award. I believe that it is the organizing work in both red states and blue states that advances our movement. I salute your courageous stand and fight in an atmosphere in 2023 where 141 anti-LGBTQ bills were introduced in the Texas state legislature, accounting for 20% of the anti-LGBTQ+ bills in the country. I know what it's like to come from a state. I would ask for silence in this room because I believe when a Black trans woman is speaking, people should listen. I know what it's like to come from a state where being LGBTQ is viewed as a death sentence. Brandon Tina, a trans man, was murdered in my home state of Nebraska when I was 8 years old. Matthew Shepard was murdered in the neighboring state of Wyoming when I was 14. I always knew once I got to Chicago, I'd find my way. This award reminds me of my arrival in the Windy City in 2008 as a young, gender nonconforming kid, dreaming of finding a place I could belong and be seen for who I am. As a former foster kid, I had no fallback, no support system. I was on my own, but I have always been me. Available on Amazon. I am so thankful to have been surrounded for so many years by a city full of individuals who have championed me during moments of fighting for survival, moments when I questioned if my work even mattered, moments when people said, "You will never," and moments when I dreamt of what new thing I could conquer next. It is because of you that I now get to serve as MWRD Commissioner Precious Brady-Davis. Protecting the source of our drinking water, Lake Michigan, at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. However, it is because of me that I succeed time and time again. I succeed because I refuse to be limited by anyone else's perception of my purpose and the power of my authenticity. Because I believe when people see themselves reflected in the arc of history, they say, "I can be that too." It is my hope that those who come after me will live in a world that is even more open and uplifting and will continue to forge even greater opportunities. While this award celebrates freedom, I urge us to remain vigilant of the Republicans' attacks on reproductive rights, access to gender-informing care, and their campaigns to demonize trans people for the purpose of winning an election. I'm proud to live in a state that mandates by the time students finish 8th grade, they're taught an LGBTQ inclusive curriculum that includes learning about Jane Addams, Bayard Rustin, Harvey Milk, Marsha P. Johnson, and Sylvia Rivera. While Illinois remains a beacon of progressive might under the leadership of Governor Pritzker, Speaker Welch, Senate President Harmon, we continue to see vulnerable rulings from the Supreme Court that has lurched to the right. We see a Speaker of the House of Representatives who professes to believe that democratic states are demon-possessed. I remember hearing that slur directed at me as a young queer person who grew up in the church. And I'd like to tell them how proud I was being sworn into office last year by Lieutenant Governor Stratton. As the first openly Black trans woman appointed to public office in Cook County after being appointed by Governor Pritzker. Thank you, Governor Pritzker. I took the oath standing tall, flanked by my fine Black trans husband. We do have 2 kids, you know. And our 2 beautiful children, Zane and Zion. I never set out to break glass ceilings or be the first of anything. I only wanted to feel accepted and have a fair shot at opportunity. And that is my wish for all of us in the LGBTQ+ community. We are not just worthy of being acceptable or tolerable. We are an essential part of the fabric of American history and deserve to be celebrated. Our community has been linked with furthering diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is my life's work. It has pained me greatly to see the all-out assault against fair treatment for all people. What is the alternative world these folks want to see? I stand here and assure you, we aren't going anywhere. Lastly, I want to thank my husband, Miles, who has been the wind in my sails, my most ardent supporter, my confidant. Thank you for whisking me off my feet all those years ago and for continuously saying yes. My work is an extension of you, and I cannot show up the way that I continually do in the world without your support. I love you. May the resilience of our community remain supreme.